Hello everyone, welcome to today's news charter. Let us begin with the prelims practice question of the day. All right, take a look at this question. And these kind of questions, every year we can see at least one or two questions from environment and ecology or science and technology in this manner. They have mentioned about a particular place and they have asked why it was there in news recently. So Lake Redba, which is also called the Pink Lake, was recently in news. For what reasons? Four reasons are provided here. First one, increase in invasive fish population, declining biodiversity, unique black coloration instead of pink color due to pollution, and added into the UNESCO World Heritage Site list. The Lake Redba is a very famous lake in Senegal country of Africa. It is well known because of its pink coloration because of a specific algae. Now, it was in news recently because extreme amount of nitrate pollution in the surrounding has made the biodiversity of this lake to decline. That is the reason it was there in news. It is told that almost the entire organisms which were living in the lake is going to go extinct. So this is why this lake was there in news. So you need to know about it. So the option for this is option D. Hydrogen fuel cell. India has been trying to build itself as a hydrogen superpower. India want to be dependent more on hydrogen as a fuel for industries as well as for vehicles rather than depending too much on petroleum and diesel. So in this context, how a hydrogen fuel cell work is very important because you can get such questions in your science and technology GS3. Just like the normal battery, take a look at this diagram. You have anode and then you have the cathode. Anodes and cathodes are two important components of a battery. Anode is of negative charge and cathode is of positive charge, and then you have an electrolyte in between which is separating these two. So through the anode, the hydrogen is let in, hydrogen gas is let in, and through the cathode, the general air is let in, which is oxygen. So all we need is hydrogen and oxygen. Both are available to a greater extent in atmosphere itself. So we don't have to worry about the components. Hydrogen is there, oxygen is there. You are just letting it through the anode and the cathode. And here, when it touches the anode, hydrogen will get ionized. So once it get ionized, you will have the hydrogen atom, ionized hydrogen atom, and then the electrons. So free electrons from the anode will pass through to the cathode. So this is what will happen. All your electrical devices and everything can be connected in this point. So the electrons movement will carry electricity along with it. So this is how the mechanism works. Hydrogen is H2. So normal hydrogen is let in through the anode. It will get ionized. The electron from hydrogen atom will escape and it will move towards the cathode. So in this process, it will carry electricity also along with it. So this is the general diagram. You remember this diagram also. Try to draw this diagram in your answer. Hydrogen fuel cell converts hydrogen and oxygen atom into what is the output? Because here you are using hydrogen and then oxygen, H2 and O2. Both together combined, it will create H2O, that is water. And another one oxygen atom is left. So this is the free oxygen atom. So it will produce water, electricity, and small amount of heat. That's all. Hydrogen is fed into the anode, air is fed into the cathode. Catalyst at the anode separates hydrogen molecule into proton and electron, which we have already discussed. Electrons will go through the external circuit, and in this process, it will carry the electricity also along with it. What is the advantage than conventional electricity or conventional energy methods? The advantage is we will have energy security because we just need the battery setup. It is very easy to create electricity through this. It is very durable, high efficiency, and very less amount of wastage, low or zero emission, almost zero emission because we are not using any other fuel here. So emission is zero. There will not be much noise or anything. It is very quiet, reliable, scalable, etc. You can mention in your answer. Another topic, early childhood care and education. Early childhood care and education was a very important component of new educational policy, which was released in 2020. So what is early childhood care and education? So if you are looking at the news regularly, the ACER report, Annual Survey of Education, which is given by Pratham, which is a NGO, it always tells that students are enrolled in schools, enrollment ratio is good, but learning ability is not good. That means students are getting enrolled in the school, they are going to school, but are they learning enough? Are they learning enough so that they are able to do basic mathematics? Are they learning enough so that they can read sentences in any language? That is not happening. It is very dismal in India. So this is why the government want to improve the early childhood care and education. So it is an important component of mission Saksham Anganwadi also, because we have to start this from Anganwadi level. And Poshan 2.0. Poshan 2.0 is for providing the minimal nutritional requirement for the students or the children. And it is envisaged under the National Educational Policy also, which we have already discussed. One important scheme here is Nipun Bharat. Nipun Bharat was started to promote the foundational literacy and numeracy, that is basic literacy, whether they'll be able to read the books properly, read and understand the things that is mentioned in the book, that is basic literacy, numeracy, basic addition, subtraction, these kind of things. So Nipun Bharat, that is National Initiative for Proficiency in Reading with Understanding and Numeracy. So this scheme is launched for children of 3 to 9 age so that they can ensure better learning. In 2023, the outlay for teaching learning material also tripled. That is 3 times the amount of money which was dedicated earlier is being dedicated at present. So the amount of expenditure has actually increased. Portion B, Padai B, which this is a slogan given by the Ministry of Women and Child Development, which will focus on early childhood care and education at Anganwadi. So in order to take care of early childhood care and education, we have introduced these things. Mission Saksham is there. Saksham Anganwadi. In Anganwadi, we are trying to provide better learning, better education. Poshan Mission is there. Apart from that, Nipun Bharat is there. Teaching learning materials allocation we have introduced, we have increased recently. Poshan B or Padai B is a slogan provided by the government. Rare diseases. What exactly is rare disease is a potential prelims question. According to the WHO, that is World Health Organization, rare disease are those disease which affect one or less per thousand population. If there are 1,000 people, out of those 1,000 people, one person will have this disease. So these are not diseases which are commonly seen in the population, like typhoid, malaria, cholera, influenza, these kind of things. So these things are separate. These are very little known, very less medicines are there, very less people are getting affected, and treatment cost is also very high. But the thing is, for India, we need to take care of these things. Generally, when we talk about rare diseases, people always tell India should take care of communicable diseases first. That itself is a huge burden. But when it comes to rare disease, we need to take care of these diseases also. The reason being, 1/3 of the global rare disease patients are in India. And the sad part here is, out of the total number of people with rare disease, 75% are children. So this shows why giving importance to rare disease is something which we need to take care. So we passed the national policy for rare diseases 2021. The government of India passed national policy for rare diseases in 2021. In this, they have grouped the rare diseases into 3 different groups. Along with that, they have also told that we, the government, will give financial support up to 50 lakhs to the patients suffering from rare diseases. So up to 50 lakhs, the government itself is ready to provide. So this is a very good thing. Apart from that, they classified the diseases into three groups. Group 1, it includes those disorders amenable to one-time curative treatment. You just do one-time treatment and you will be able to overcome it. The second group includes long-term or lifelong treatment required. For certain diseases, you have to take the treatment throughout your lifetime. These comes under group 2. Group 3, diseases for which definite treatment is available, but it is very costly. And it might be a lifelong therapy also. So these three groups should be known. You need to know that national policy for rare diseases was passed in 2021. The government is ready to provide up to 50 lakhs for the treatment of rare diseases. PM Surya Ghar Yojana, that is Muft Bijli Yojana. So this is a yojana to introduce or to bring electricity through solar rooftop to almost 1 crore population of the country. So this is the basic idea. The idea is when you introduce rooftop solar power, the households will start generating electricity. When the households start generating electricity, households do not have to pay for the electricity they are consuming. So this is the basic idea. The scheme envisages providing 300 unit of free electricity every month. So most of our households will be consuming less than 300 units only. This itself shows that you can produce all the electricity you want and you don't have to spend any money from your hand. So free electricity to around 1 crore households. 1 crore households means in a household, if you take an average of 5 people, it will be around 5 crore people who will be benefited out of this scheme. So it is an amazing scheme. It will help India to stick to its Paris Convention protocols. It will help India to reduce the carbohydrate emission. It will also make the households as producers of electricity. So maybe if excess electricity is produced by the households, we can tell them that you have the option to sell this electricity also. If the government comes up with such a scheme, that would be amazing. So the central fund for the scheme, because you have to install the machines for that, people cannot spend all the money from their hand. So what the government is telling is 60% of the cost of installation for 2 kilowatt electricity system will be provided by the center itself. In case if you are installing 2 to 3 kilowatt of electricity system, in such cases, 40% will be provided by the central government. 60% of fund will be provided by the center itself. And even for the remaining 40%, what they are telling is you can get loans, that too collateral free loan of very low interest of just 7%. So it is beneficial for all the households. And to enroll for the scheme, all the households have to do is they will just have to go and apply for subsidy through a central portal, and they'll be able to select the vendor also for installing the rooftop solar system. Mains question of the day: discuss the achievements of India in the primary education sector in the recent times. Mention some critical development required in the field. It is a very simple question. There is no much requirement to discuss about it. Let's move on to the next part. Prelims pointers. Yeah, so these kind of questions are very important, especially when it comes in news. If it is about new flora or fauna, it is very important. And this particular fauna is very important because it includes the name of the president in it. Melanoclamus Draupadi. So it is a species which was found in the coastal regions of West Bengal and Odisha, and it was named by the Zoological Survey of India with the name of the President of India. So what are the physical appearances? It will have a head shield. It is generally a head shield sea slug with ruby color red spot in the end. So it is a very small animal. It is of just 7 millimeter length, very small, and it will keep crawling in the sands of the ocean, sands along the coastal region. So it is found nowhere else in the world. This is why it is very important. Melanotraupus Clamus Draupadi is the name. Try to remember this. It is very important because it is not found anywhere in the world and it has been named as named according to the name of the President of India. It is a small invertebrate. Invertebrate are those animals which do not have a spine, do not have a spinal cord. Maximum length is 7 mm. And another interesting fact is it is a hermaphrodite. Hermaphrodite are those fauna or flora who do not have different male and female. These species will have both male and female reproductive organ within themselves. Every individual will have both the organs. So this particular species is very important. Try to remember this. Main point is obesity has been increasing recently. In prelims, you might not get such question, but for mains, such questions are very important, especially in GS1 and GS2. In society, you can get such question, and in GS2 health, you can get such question. So it's better you remember a data. So this is a data published by the Lancet magazine, in which it was told that the obesity rate among children and adolescents worldwide has increased 4 times from 1990 to 2022, while obesity rates among adults have more than doubled. So at least remember one fact: the obesity level among children and adults have increased 4 times since 1990. So just 20 to 25 years, and it has increased 4 times. Uh, it is too much of an increase, which is really not good for the health of the people. So that will be all for today. All the best. Study well. Let's meet tomorrow.